You're a bit more, I would say honestly, you're a bit more of a David Bowie fan than I am.
I would agree with that.
Okay. So what did you think of this song choice for the trailer? Was this a good match?
Well, like I told you, I feel like somebody's trying to troll Alan Moore by using this song. Or, maybe it's just some music guy who's like, I know, he lived on Mars, we'll use the Life on Mars song. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's not really like a positive thing for storytelling.
Yeah, best case scenario, I think you're saying best case scenario is that someone didn't know what they were doing. And it's kind of a shallow, okay, literally there's a character on Mars, Dr. Manhattan, and this song is talking about Mars. So perfect match, we're done, we got it guys, we got the trailer music.
Right.
But if it's a little more sinister, why do you say it's trolling? Like, what's the thematic nature of Life on Mars by David Bowie? What's it all about?
Well, it's about a girl who is lonely, and her life is very lonely, and so she tries to escape into movies and television and the silver screen just in general.
Mm-hmm.
And she finds that it's all disappointing and that the stories have all been told before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how you want to market your continuation of a movie based on a comic where the author of the comic wants nothing to do with any other continuations or adaptations. You want to play a song in the trailer that is just straight up saying, no new stories, same old stuff.
We told this story 10,000 times before.
Yeah, here you go. My favorite line, we're not going to go through all the lyrics line by line, but my favorite line in there is about Mickey Mouse. It's on America's furrowed brow that Mickey Mouse grew up a cow. So it's one of two options, I think. It's either a sacred cow or a cash cow.
Uh-huh.
And those both could describe Mickey Mouse in one way or another. It's actually, if you ever saw the movie Dogma, the Kevin Smith movie, it's a lot more literal because they actually, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck go to a Movies, which is, like the fast food restaurant, and they kill everyone in the boardroom, and like their mascot is like the fatted calf, a sacred cow.
Oh.
Mooby the golden calf. The Mickey Mouse reference here, the Mickey Mouse reference in Life on Mars, if it's like a sacred cow or a cash cow, again, that's a little on the nose for, well, why are you making a new Watchmen show? Well, there's a lot of money on the table. There's a lot of money, when it comes to Watchmen. If you want to know more about Alan Moore's history, like why he's bothered by the things that happened with DC around Watchmen's publication in the 80s, there's a lot of books about it. I recommend Magic Words, The Extraordinary Life of Alan Moore by Lance Parkin. And pretty much any interview you read with Moore, it's going to come up and he's going to talk about his dissatisfaction. But the initial deal, as I understand it, with DC when they put out Watchmen was, okay, you got, as soon as it's going to go out of print, everything goes out of print, 18 months. And as soon as it's out of print, the copyright is yours again. But right now, as the publishers, we're going to hold on to that for you. We're going to hold on to the copyright. It's just, we'll take care of you. Don't worry about it.
Thanks, DC.
Yeah, perfect. But things start to fall apart pretty early on in like 86, 85, 86, when Alan Moore and the artist Dave Gibbons had merchandising, a piece of that. Like they would earn off of merchandising if DC put out t-shirts or posters or whatever. But one thing they did was DC put out these small little smiley face buttons, like the cover of the book, the Watchmen smiley face.
Uh-huh.
And they were just promotional items. So they weren't charging anything, but still comic stores that got them, some of them were charging like $1 or $2. And Alan Moore was like, hey, I think I'm the author, I deserve a piece of that. And, it became this whole back and forth. That's as far as I'm going to go into the story because I wasn't there, I wasn't involved.
Way to go, comic book stores. You jerks.
I'm not throwing blame anywhere. I'm just saying
it was free. Why are you selling it?
It's been now decades of a back and forth. It's like it hasn't gone out of print. That's the big thing. Watchmen has stayed in print since it came out in the 80s, and it's an evergreen title. It's sold millions of copies. I don't know how much it sells every year, but Alan Moore continues to get a royalty check. When the movie came out in 2008, 2009, Alan Moore distanced himself from the whole thing. He took his name off the project.
I felt it was sad to upset an artist so much that he just took his name off of it.
Yeah, so you might ask yourself, is it morally right for me to even watch the new Watchmen TV show?
Who's watching this Watchmen?
Well, it's on HBO, yeah. Wait a second. That's pretty funny. It's on HBO, flat out. I know it's a joke question, but flat out the real answer to your joke question is it's on HBO. There's going to be people watching it.
Right.
Should they be watching it? Are we going to watch it? We're probably going to watch it.
Oh, really?
Sorry, Alan Moore. I really don't want to say anything
I
to
probably
upset him.
won't watch more than one episode.
Okay, if that makes you feel any better, we won't watch more than one episode, and we swear we'll hate it.
Well, honestly, like I read the book before watching the movie. I didn't read it until the movie was getting ready to come out. So I'm not like a longtime fan. I do respect Alan Moore, and he's done some really cool stuff with HBO. Also, 6 Feet Under, right?
I think you're thinking of Alan Ball.
Oh, I am. Let's
That's
go
okay.
back. Let's go back.
I'm gonna cut that. Don't worry about that.
Okay, but he's done a lot of other really cool stuff, and I think that it's sad that people aren't respecting the artist's wishes in this. That's kind of what the whole idea of copyright was, right? Was to help respect the artist's wishes, assuming that the artist's wish was to take care of his family monetarily, right?
Yeah.
And so now this is an example of copyright being used against the artist, and nobody really cares about what he wants.
Yeah. It's impossible for everyone to get what they want in this situation. For the publisher, for the authors, it's just they're basically at loggerheads here. Not everyone can get what they want. So who do you side with? It would be an extreme stance, I think, to boycott Watchmen. But I wouldn't be surprised, I guess, if that actually became like a cause celeb. Like people mentioned it, like, hey, Alan Moore doesn't like this, we shouldn't support it. But DC puts out comics too, based on Watchmen. They're running a series called Doomsday Clock right now, which is like a sequel to Watchmen, with no association with Alan Moore. But it sells a lot, so I'm going to think the same thing there. If there was ever the threat of a boycott, it didn't really go through. But that's really all we can say about that. Anyway, if people like this video, what can they do?
You can subscribe, you can like this video, share it with your friends, and check out some of our past videos. We've got some other great art, and we talk all about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for joining us today, and we'll be back in the future with more great videos. See ya.